Brennan's just lying about it. Trust me, this is the story. So Johnny B is back in the spotlight. Johnny Brennan, piece by the Washington Examiner. The excellent Jerry Dunleavy does great investigative reporting. If you're reading his stuff, you're ahead of the curve, unlike Collusion Maggie at the New York Times, where you're always 6 months behind the story. So Jerry Dunleavy, Washington Examiner. John Durham investigation intensifies focus on John Brennan. Really? What's going on with Johnny B? Well, folks, if you're a regular listener to the show, you probably already know, but this is worth talking about again because apparently the United States attorney investigating the Spygate affair has those high beams on, and Johnny B is right there. Let's go to the piece by Jerry Dunleavy. What does he say in this? What exactly are they looking at here? Quote, Durham is also scrutinizing Brennan in relation to British ex-spy Christopher Steele's dossier. In particular, the prosecutor is looking for answers on whether it was used in the 2017 assessment, why Jim Comey and Andrew McCabe insisted upon it being part of the assessment, how allegations from the dossier ended up in the assessment's appendix, and whether John Brennan misled about the dossier's use. Ding, 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 ding. That last question. Again, you regular listeners already know this. Did John Brennan get Christopher Steele's information, or was he working with Christopher Steele to disseminate information way earlier than he said? What do I mean by that? Well, before we go to another screenshot of Lisa Page's testimony, I just want to play you this quick video we played before about John Brennan talking to the hapless Chuck Todd, who is quickly becoming one of the dumbest guys in media. But Chuck Todd on MSNBC, here's John Brennan telling him back in February of 2018 how the dossier, Christopher Steele's information, I didn't see that stuff until December. Really? Check this out.
When did you first learn of the so-called Steele dossier and what Christopher Steele was doing?
Well, it was not a very well-kept secret among press circles for several months before it came out. And it was in late summer of 2016 when there were some individuals from the various U.S. news outlets who asked me about my familiarity with it. And I had heard just snippets about it. I did not know what was in there. I did not see it until later in that year. I think it was in December. But I was unaware of the provenance of it as well as what was in it. And it did not play any role whatsoever in the intelligence community assessment that was done, that was presented to then President Obama and then President-elect Trump.
How was the Steele dossier treated?
How
did you treat it? You said you looked at it in December. I assume it's been looked at by, it was obviously looked at by the FBI. We've now learned they've tried to confirm some of it and have had some success. Some not yet. They say it's unconfirmed, but that's about it.
Well, there were things in that dossier that made me wonder whether or not they were in fact accurate and true. And I do think it was up to the FBI to see whether or not they could verify any of it. I think Jim Comey has said that it contained salacious and unverified information. Just because it was unverified didn't mean it wasn't true. And if the Russians were involved in something like that, directed against individuals who are aspiring to the highest office in this land, there was an obligation on the part of the FBI to seek out the truth on it.
Fascinating. He does two things in one soundbite there. I didn't see it till December after the election. In other words, Christopher Steele, the fake information we spied on Trump with, I didn't have anything to do with that till after December. Come on, guy. Leave me alone. Secondly, he manages to throw the FBI under the bus. Hey, I passed it off to them. They're the law enforcement guys. They were supposed to verify that. Not the way that works, John. You're the head of the Central Intelligence Agency, guy. Your job is not to pass off unverified rumors to get presidential candidates spied on. Did you miss that? Did you miss the memo? Not sure. Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Let me put up this testimony by Lisa Page from the FBI. Remember, Brennan's saying, Joe, hey, whatever the FBI got from Christopher Steele and stuff, I don't know. I didn't see any of that till after the election. Really? You sure of that? Because Mark Meadows and the Republican congressman have been looking into this, appear to think otherwise. They have Lisa Page, FBI lawyer, up on Capitol Hill, and they seem to be hinting at something that maybe Christopher Steele and John Brennan were talking way before December, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Page says, answering Mr. Meadows' question, she says, Lisa Page says, yeah, with all due honesty, if Director Brennan got that information from our source, she's talking about Steele. She says, if the CIA had another source of that information, I'm neither aware of that, nor did the CIA provide it to us if they did, because the first time and Meadows cuts her off, we do know there are multiple sources. She says, I do know that. I do know that the information ultimately found its way to a lot of different places, certainly in October of 2016. Listen to this key line. I'm telling you, Brennan is lying. He was dealing with Steele in the summer of 2016, ladies and gentlemen, and he's been lying about it the whole time. Here's Lisa Page under oath. But if the CIA, as early as August, in fact, had some of those same reports, talking about Steele's reports, I'm not aware of that, nor do I believe they provided them to us. And that would be unusual. My gosh, the FBI is getting pushed all this Steele information. You guys need to open up a case. John Brennan's pushing it to Harry Reid, Democrat hack senator, who's then pushing the FBI to open up a case in August. But Brennan's saying, I don't know. I didn't get any of this information from Steele. I'm getting it from sources, right? Steele the whole time. What kind of knucklehead believes this? And now he's lying. Now you see what Durham's investigating? When did Brennan know about Steele? And if he knew about Steele in the summer and was telling the FBI and politicians, I've got information about Trump being a Russian asset, and he's getting that from Steele and he's lying, Brennan, suggesting he's getting it from someone else. That way, when Steele shows up to the FBI, it looks like the information's verified. Oh, John Brennan told us the same stuff. Of course he did. It's from the same guy. Brennan's just lying about it. Trust me, this is the story. In both of my books, I talk about this. Good reads right now, especially Exonerated, where we nail Brennan to the wall on this.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.